So our next method we're talking about is dynamic effort training. So dynamic effort is a method that is geared at improving rate of force development. So when we think about training, we think about the force velocity curve, we think about the force component as well as the velocity component of that curve. And when we think about dynamic effort training, where we're focused more on bar velocity, this is going to be working the velocity portion of that curve, whereas our max effort training is going to work the force component. So that alone right there is going to give you a nice balance within your programming and keep things a little bit more diverse in the sense that we're not just lifting heavy or building to a repetition max on a bilateral lift. We're working on more a speed component. So first question to ask is, who would you use this with? Well, number one, it's got to be someone with a higher training age. They need to have good motor patterns, they need to know how to move, and they can't be just learning how to train. If they're learning how to train, trying to add speed or bar velocity to the equation could throw them off, and it could allow them to ingrain poor motor patterns. So that's number one. Number two, if someone's looking to get stronger, speed is going to be a component of that, okay? Now, if someone's not looking to get stronger and they just want to maintain general fitness, it's still a good method because we know that as people age, we lose fast twitch muscle fiber, our type 2 muscle fibers. So this is a good way to sort of slow that process. So we use it for general fitness, we use it for people that are gaining maximal strength, but we don't use it for people that are just learning how to move, okay? Last thing is in terms of how we're delivering it, we're going to use more sets, lower repetitions, and ideally we would use accommodating base resistance, that is bands or chains, because accommodating resistance allows us to not have tension through full range, as opposed to just adding weight to the bar. So this is beneficial because it allows someone to still move fast, we're not gonna compromise bar speed, but it also actually allows them to really explode through those sticking points and be really consistent in terms of maintaining accountability with their bar speed. So accommodating resistance is going to be a focal point of this. Make sure that you are using it. If you're not, then you're likely going to have to play with the percentages you use. Now, if you have someone that's an endurance athlete, they might need to go on the lower end of the spectrum, okay? Whereas if someone that's more explosive, they might be able to use a little bit more load and keep bar velocity intact, all right? And when we do perform this, in terms of rest intervals, anywhere from 45 seconds to 90 seconds rest. As people build capacity, they should be able to do a set every 45 to 60 seconds where we're performing, let's say 8 sets of 3. But as someone is just getting used to this, they might need a little bit more time. So it's okay to keep those rest intervals a little bit longer.